Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Marissa Johnson. The Butler women's soccer team is off to a fantastic start in their inaugural Atlantic 10 conference year. Our own Ari Castle took a look at how they're doing and how one of their freshman standouts is helping the team now.
In their first season in the Atlantic 10 Conference, the Butler women's soccer team can already tell that things are different.
There's probably a big jump in the competition that we're facing, and it's definitely challenging us a little bit more, but we're stepping up to the plate and we're handling it, and we like it.
Helping with that competition is freshman Sophia McEnone, who has burst onto the scene as one of the best freshmen in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Sophie is amazing on the ball. You know, whenever she gets the ball, I always say, dance, Sophie, dance. She just dances on the ball. It's magical to watch. You know, she does a little hip swivel, and it fools everyone. I mean, she makes our competition and people that try and defend her look ridiculous on the field. You know, it's always good to get a laugh in about it, but she works hard. You know, she put in the time and effort in years past, and she's continuing to do so. She pushes herself, and that helps push our teammates, makes us want to get better, but definitely she's a very technical player on the ball.
With the conference tournament looming and the Bulldogs currently ranked 8th, the team knows they have work to do.
I think we need to just keep pushing on. I think we need to keep up with the competition. We need to keep pushing ourselves physically and mentally. And as long as we do that and, you know, we keep working hard each day in practice, challenging each other, pushing ourselves to the full potential, I think we're going to have a positive outcome this year.
For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Ari Castle.
We are now joined in studio by two members of the Butler women's soccer team. We have freshman Sophie McEnone and assistant coach Rick Huffman. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You're going to jump right in. I know you have a match against Temple this weekend, and it's only one of 4 regular season matches left. So what is the focus right now of the team coming off of last weekend and then looking forward to?
Well, coming to this game, we're kind of focused on just like recollecting ourselves after everything, and like since it's like the last 4 game stuff, we really want to come in with some wins and get like ahead in the A10 league. So trying to focus on just recollecting.
Are you looking past Friday? I mean, obviously you're focused, but are you kind of concerned about those last 4 games as well?
I think the last 4 games are extremely important for our team to build some momentum going into the conference tournament. We need to perform well Friday and Sunday before we head back out east in our last games to make sure that we put ourselves in a good position to qualify for the conference tournament and get a decent seed.
Okay. And you kind of mentioned it before, you are coming off of a loss against VCU last weekend, and it was kind of a controversial call. So can you kind of take us through what happened and what led to that goal?
Well, we were doing really well in that game. We had a lot of opportunities that we were kind of just waiting for like one to actually go in, obviously. So we're just playing our game, and as it got past us, and when our goalie came out, she went for the ball, but it just happened to go past her, and the girl happened to hit her, and obviously the ref only sees the girl fall, so he calls that, and I mean, it's unlucky, but there's nothing we could do about it, and we just try to get back in the game and try to get back, but we just didn't have enough time.
So obviously these things happen, but that was the first loss in over a month for you. And so what was kind of the key, has been the key for consistency this past month and then all season as well?
I would say that the key for us has been being a very good defensive team. If you can play good defense, you're going to put yourself in a position to win games, or even in our case, tie some games. And when you get into conference play, you know, even ties can be key results for us. So having a good defense and then having somebody like Sophie, when we have the ball, who always is a danger and a threat to score. You put those 2 things together, and it's been a pretty good combination for us so far.
Mm-hmm. And Sophie, talking about you, you're a 3-time Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Week. You're leading the team in goals with 8 this season. What has enabled you to come in and make such an impact right away?
Coming into the team, they were all, obviously it's very intimidating as a freshman and everything, but as soon as we come, they all were like nice and welcoming, and just their kind of confidence they had in each other and in us as freshmen kind of just wears off onto you. They were really like just hard workers, and when you see them working hard, you want to do as well. So I think a lot of it comes just from the encouragement and confidence that our team had in me and as well as the other freshmen. So I think that.
So obviously confidence, there's kind of this overlying effect of trust too, and they trust you to go out and play well every game. But how has that build? Like, obviously you said they came in, everyone, was very welcoming. What have you done over the season to kind of bond as a team and keep playing so well?
A lot of our bonding obviously during practice we all work hard as a team, but outside of that we always just we hang out. We'll go just to like random dinners outside of Broad Ripple and hang out. And just kind of when it's like low key during campus times, we'll watch movies together and like kind of bond that way. But it's also just on the field too. We just have that connection. We all want the same outcome, so we work as hard just to get that.
Do you see that as well, Coach? See kind of that progression over the season of them bonding, or is it right away from the get-go?
Oh, absolutely. I think that the team chemistry has been very good from the beginning, and the players putting trust in the skill sets that each of the players have has been very nice to see, and the staff chemistry too. The staff putting the trust in a freshman like Sophie to go out and do her thing has been critical, and the other players on the team feed off of that. They know if the coaching staff is going to trust her to do it, that certainly they can do that too. Mm-hmm. Same thing on the other side of the ball, whether it would be a goalkeeping situation or a defending situation, that we would have the confidence to put those kids in those situations to perform well. So it all goes together. Staff chemistry, team chemistry has been good. You don't have to be the best team to win games, but you do have to have really good chemistry, and when you have it, and it feels good right now.
Did you kind of expect that when you came in? Like, what were the expectations of, like, how you're going to fit into this new team after coming from high school and being in that situation, and then also how you're going to perform it?
It's nerve-wracking at first coming in. I knew that coming in, they're obviously all going to be close because they've already played together for 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. So coming in, you're a little iffy about it, but once you meet all the girls, you see how down-to-earth and welcoming, comfortable you all are with them. So right from the start, we kind of all felt welcomed and part of the team right away. So seeing that, you just kind of are confident in going into the season that you're comfortable with your teammates and you're comfortable playing with them on the field.
Being a freshman, what were your expectations of her coming in, and how has she met those? Obviously, has she exceeded them being that person for you guys on the field?
We knew what we were getting when we were recruiting Sophie. We knew we were getting a fantastic player from an attacking standpoint. We knew that we had somebody that could score goals in many different ways, whether it would be shooting from distance, scoring off the dribble, scoring off the pass, all of those things. We knew what we were getting with Sophie. So we had a plan in mind. As a coaching staff, you're never quite sure that plan's going to work out and what the dynamics are going to look like when you get a new group of kids every single year. We had a feeling that Sophie was going to be what she is, mm-hmm. and I can't say that there's been one day that's gone by that we haven't been thankful to have her on the field with us. She's just been everything we could have asked for and more.
So kind of going off of that, you're a freshman and doing well, but obviously there's a leadership aspect to it as well. Not only are you scoring goals, do you feel like you have a leadership role, or is that something that the team has taken over as a whole, or that the seniors have taken over?
I think as a team we all lead each other throughout the whole game, but each individual knows that they have their own leadership too, because if one person makes a mistake, or even yourself, you have to go and work back just to show that that you're taking responsibility for it. So each of us, and even myself, I know that I have to be a leader too, as well as my other teammates, because they're leading me, so I feel that I have to do leading to them too if they're feeling down.
And what have you seen from the team as far as leadership and seniors?
From our seniors, I think it's been a fantastic demonstration of just what it means to lead by serving and to serve these young kids and the freshmen, to show them what it's like to be a member of the team. To be a student at Butler University has been a pretty neat thing for all of the coaching staff to see, and just to let them know that the legacy they're leaving behind is one that these kids can grow and they can serve the kids that are going to come in next year. And you don't need to get your needs met on our team by serving yourself. You can get those needs met by serving each other.
Mm-hmm. And part of a job as an assistant coach is to be there, but as I mentioned, it's your first season, but it's also the first season in the Atlantic 10 Conference. So obviously there's an aspect of scouting and knowing the teams that you're going to play, which you coming in, did you know a lot about anything, like before you go and play a team? Do you know like who you're playing, what you're getting into?
A lot of the time we aren't aware at first, but when we talk to our coaches, then we are know. Like we know their kind of what their main goal is and how they play and expectations. But usually, just we kind of come in anyway. Like regardless of how they play, we know that we have to play our game. But we're usually told on how they're like recruiting us and everything.
Mm-hmm. And it's obviously different because the whole team this year is kind of in that situation of not knowing necessarily who they're coming into. So what has been the biggest difference for the coaching staff as far as scouting and preparing the team to play?
I would say that there's been a lot more time in preparation. Coach Allman, one of our assistant coaches, works relentlessly on game preparation, knowing other teams, talking to other coaches, capturing video from other teams, breaking that down, analyzing it, and preparing our team. He has been absolutely fantastic in what he does as far as getting us ready, because a lot of these teams we have never seen. Mm-hmm. The best we can get is talking to another coach or seeing video. But Coach Allman's understanding of the game tactically is second to none, and he's done an absolutely wonderful job in getting these kids ready game after game and week after week for our opponents.
What's one of the biggest differences that you see from the Horizon League to the A10?
The biggest difference is that teams are bigger, they're faster, they're more athletic, and the competition from top to bottom is much higher. So if you don't bring your best game, you could lose to any team in the conference. Mm-hmm. The Horizon League, you may or may not be able to bring your best game and still squeak out a tie or a win. In the Atlantic 10, if you're not on your game, you're going to go home with a loss. So you better be ready to play.
And the loss against VCU was the first actual loss in conference play. You've had a few ties, but it's been good. So how have you been able to implement what Coach Altman says and kind of put it all together to perform well every game?
Well, with all the recruiting or kind of like the video watching and talking, Coach Altman really prepares us for how we need to play, what we need to focus on as a team. Like if they're strong on the outsides, then we know as a team that we have to get on the outsides, not just our defense, but our midfield working with them. So it's really been helping, just like the little things that he finds out helps us as a team to build on what we have to work together in order to come out with a win in that game.
And same question to you, what has been, how have you seen your team implement this and be able to perform so well in the first season against new competition?
I think the coaching staff's ability to effectively communicate what we want the kids to do on the field has been a huge bonus. So to show them in a practical way how we want things to go and to break them down. And that trust level between the student athlete on the field and the coaching staff members, that when we're out there working with them, that they know that we've done our homework, they know that we spent time, they know that we have put a lot of effort into knowing the opponents we're coming up against, I think has let us prepare very well for our opponents.
And we kind of talked earlier about team bonding, but that gives it too that the coaches and the players have to have a connection as well. And even between the two of you, I can see that you both have a really good relationship with each other and kind of keep it fun. So what's the key to, building that trust and making sure that, everyone's on the same page?
I think a lot of it is just kind of understanding. Coaches go through a lot that, like, even just looking at videos and just knowing our own players, they go through a lot and trying to prepare us, and they know what's best for our team as in attacking, defending, goalkeeping, anything. So I think just that key of understanding each other more, and then obviously during practice and stuff we all joke around too, so we had to have this humor thing that kind of makes us even closer too. But overall we all know, we all understand that we have to work our hardest in order to win. So when we're all on the same page, understand what they want, and they understand what we need to get better, then it kind of makes a connection a lot stronger.
Okay, so like we said, 4 games left. What is the goal now? Obviously you had preseason goals during the season. What is the end goal that you guys are working for?
Our end goal is come out with some wins in these games. So we want to go into these first 2 games, especially this weekend being home, with wins, obviously. So we're going to work our hardest this week in order to get those outcomes, and then going into our away games kind of have that intimidation factor, so they know that we're new to this thing, and we're going to show them that could be one of the best. So if we get these wins this weekend, then we could go into our away games and hopefully get those wins too.
And Coach, would you agree?
Yes, I would agree. In the preseason poll, joining the Atlantic 10, we were not picked to make the conference tournament. I think we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder knowing that we were a good team going into it. So getting better day after day, practicing hard, competing in the games and hoping for the best. I think that our expectation would be to win some of these last 4 games. I think our expectation at this point would be to make the conference tournament and to give ourselves a chance to win some games in the tournament and make a run at the NCAA tournament. So that's where we're at right now.
Well, I know that we all wish you the best of luck. Good luck this weekend. Thank you both for being here today. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Marissa Johnson. Mark Pearson's up next with the Bulldog Blitz scoreboard.
I'm Mark Pearson, and this is your Bulldog Blitz scoreboard. The Bulldog football team is on a roll. The football team won a close game against Marist 17-14. The Bulldogs have won their previous 4 games to improve their record to 5-2. They look to keep this streak alive against Morehead State, who is yet to win a game in the Pioneer League. This is Butler's homecoming game and starts Saturday at 6 p.m. in the Butler Bowl. The Butler volleyball team is now 12-9. Last week, the Bulldogs were 1-1 as they beat Charlotte 3-1 and lost to VCU 3-0. The team has been struggling in the A-10, but looks to bounce back with 2 conference wins this weekend. The Bulldogs will play Friday at Hinkle Fieldhouse against Xavier at 7 p.m. They will also play Sunday at noon against Dayton. The men's cross-country team competed last Saturday at the NCAA pre-national meet. Sophomore Harry Ellis led the way for Butler. The Bulldogs placed 15th out of 40 teams. The team now prepares to run in the A-10 conference meet on Saturday, October 27th. The women's cross-country team finished 11th out of 38 teams at the NCAA pre-national meet. Junior Katie Clark finished 11th overall in the race. The women's team is also preparing for the A-10 conference meet. Men's golf team won Butler's Fall Invitational by a convincing 12 strokes. Andrew Wagang won the 2A tournament with an impressive total of 2 under par. The team looks to keep the momentum rolling when they play at Dayton's Fall Invitational next Monday. The women's golf team finished 6th out of 15 teams in the MAC preview. Jenna Peterson led the way for the Butler Bulldogs and finished 12th overall in the tournament. The Bulldogs' next tournament is Monday, October 29th in the Evansville Invitational. The men's soccer team lost against Indiana 2-0 and VCU 1-0 in their previous 2 games. The Bulldogs look to rebound on the road against Temple at 7 p.m. The team is now 1-3 in conference play and hopes to improve their record this weekend against 2 conference opponents. The Bulldogs also play Sunday at St. Joseph at 1 p.m. The women's soccer team is coming off a 2-0 loss at VCU and a tie to Richmond 2-2. The Bulldogs play this Friday in the Butler Bowl against Temple at 7 p.m. This is the Real Dogs Wear Pink game, so be sure to be supporting your pink. The team will also play Sunday in the Butler Bowl against St. Joseph at 1 p.m. The men's tennis team has not competed since September 30th. They will travel to Memphis, Tennessee to compete in the ITA Regional starting this Friday. The women's tennis team has not competed in almost a month. They will now compete in the ITA Regional in West Lafayette, Indiana at Purdue starting on Thursday. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Mark Pearson. Thank you.